Hi there, we are with Joe Wos of the Toonseum in Pittsburgh, PA, and he has kindly decided to answer our questions about women in comics. Sort of a gender thing, sort of not, but
sure,
overall
okay.
it's basically focused on females at conventions.
All right, great.
So there seems to be a sartorial challenge that male comic book fans don't really get past. Do you know why nobody here dresses correctly? Can you tell us, is it they don't care? Or it's an emblem, it's sort of their costume, their
With the men that dress, it's part of it is having just given up. Like, look, I'm coming to a comic convention. I'm not going to meet anyone. Why am I trying?
But I met my husband at a comic con.
Yes, but wait, was your husband a real comic book geek? Okay. So
he was also wearing like a Wolverine printed shirt.
You're apparently
We're
a very
way past
special
that,
girl.
but
no, I think part of it is just it actually. Here's what it is. There's a moment in time in which geek culture managed to take something that was a label, the word geek, and turn it into a badge. The word geek went transformed from being this derogatory label to being a badge of honor. That we now wear that term geek with such pride that we showcase it. We showcase it in the t-shirts we wear. We showcase it in just our sort of general attitude. For the first time in I don't know how long, but over the course of the past 5 to 10 years, geek is chic and geek is cool. That we're driving the film industry, we're driving the comics industry, we're driving television industry. Suddenly that nerdy, there was just an article on the internet, Yahoo, that just said, geeks make the perfect husbands.
they really do. I can back that up.
I can't speak from experience on that, but I assume that's true. So I think part of it has to do with this, like, this look is my badge, and this is who I am, and
especially here, they're coming to
and it's finally I can live with pride in this. So I think it has a lot to do with it.
So it's not for the girls, it's for you guys.
Yeah, it's for ourselves, and for the, this is a relatively new thing that geeks are starting to demonstrate confidence, and I think that's the part that's attractive. It's confidence that's attractive. We, for so many decades, have confidence.
Right. That used to be the badge.
Now, geeks can shred a little.
Right.
I mean, they're using "I'm a cartoonist" as a pickup line. That's new.
Right. That is
very new, and it's actually starting to work for them. So I think it has a lot to do with it.
good. Wonderful for them. The next, I'm a cartoonist is sometimes a good pickup line.
Yes.
And then other times maybe the girl is like, well, why do you depict me so strangely in every single one of your comics? Why do you think that most of the females that are depicted in comics these days have unrealistically large boobs? Like, girls that could not possibly leap rooftops are leaping rooftops.
Is that a new thing in media? I mean,
no. I mean, but it's a thing that's existed in comics from its inception.
Oh, yes, yes. But it's also existed in film since its inception. It's existed in photography since its inception. It's existed in painting. I mean, you can go back
a thousand
years, and you have these voluptuous Rubenesque women and stuff. So it's existed in the arts for centuries, millennia. This idea of this iconography that women should be, like this. And I don't even know if they should be like this. Is what we imagine we would like them to be like.
Right. Ultimately, if we had our way, they would be like this. I think with photography, it's kind of different because you can only capture really what happens in real life. So you have things
that's
that are
why God invented Photoshop. No, but as true as that is, the artists pick models and then pose them in such ways to just showcase and things. So I think they do still. They're showing reality because you have that to work with. And they're still picking models. They're still picking how they look at pose. They're still picking the outfits.
Does the physics of it never bother you? Like how difficult it would be for a woman to do superhero things and be that top heavy?
I think it's all outrageous. I think it's absolutely, it is ridiculous. And I love the stuff that is showcasing real women. Just as much as I love the stuff that's showcasing real men. I got news for you. There's no superheroes out there that look like me. you know, we always sort of saw this in this angle, like, oh,
It is.
women are
It
being
is
depicted outrageously.
stylized on both
Hey,
sides. Yes.
have you ever seen, you know, a comic book superhero in those tights without pecs and everything else? Well, guess what it is? It's both sides. I know we tend to focus because the women's side of it is so over the top and so sexualized, and it seems because it's trying to sexualize towards men,
Right.
and that's why we, you know,
And I think that that's
do
more
it.
of a problem because the guy's body image is not tied up in their morals and their ethics, which is what the rest of the, what the rest of the comic is about. Generally, is about the man saving things or being moralistic or being a paragon of America. Or,
There are some great pieces out there of men superhero posed as women.
I've seen those.
And,
I've seen
it
those.
is. It clearly is. But I don't think it's something uniquely comics. I think it's society. It's broad across society.
Definitely.
It's just the way we depict women in media has always been. It's just standard that's just impossible. It's ludicrous. And do I see that changing? Sometimes. You know, there are sometimes you see something in the media and you go, oh, you know, that's a real woman. That's great. Or that's a real guy. That's real. But I don't think it's going to change the whole lot.
It doesn't move the story as much as we would like it to.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's the way the media handles things.
Let's see. Okay, so I do a podcast that's basically focused on relationships and relationship questions.
Yeah.
So we were talking about women at cons.
Yes.
Have you ever had a romance at con?
Not yet. Not yet. Hasn't happened yet. And that's
Do you think
all I
it's
got with
kind of
that.
do you think it's kind of weird for women here? Because I know I've been coming here for over 10 years, and I think that sometimes, I mean, especially as a writer or an artist, they never really look at you as a writer or an artist. You're definitely a girl first, and especially when it comes to talking to other people,
Yeah.
I think that gets in the way.
It's interesting. I just came from C2E2 in Chicago, and I went through the Artist Alley, and there was just not a lot of people in the Artist Alley at the time I went. And there was this one artist who was, I'm not going to say her name, she was an okay artist, but had a line of guys waiting. And my first
Blood in
thought
the water, Joe.
was marketing.
Right.
Way to market yourself. You know what's working, and she was using every bit of it. And I don't know that she, you know, maybe she afterwards she went home right away and said, I need to take a shower. I feel icky. Or maybe she just said, like, hey, this is some great attention. I'm going to use this to market my book. I don't know how she thinks.
So it kind of depends on how every woman
I think
personally
every woman
embraces
personally
it.
embraces it differently. I think at this Comic-Con, at any Comic-Con, we do have a tendency, the men have a tendency to sexualize all the women automatically the minute they walk in the door. On the other hand...
Can we get past that, do you think?
No. I'm being bluntly honest. I don't think we can get past it.
I wish that there was a different answer, but I believe you.
You know, women do it to men in a different way. You know, men do it to women based solely on physical appearance. And that's unfortunate. But I don't know as a society there's a point at which we can get past that. You hope there is. I will tell you this, though. Talent does supersede all else. And a very talented artist, whether male or female, is still going to have the lines. It's still going to have the fans. You know, I look at the history of women artists, and you think back of, you know, in the 1940s, how many women artists took the male names just so they could get published.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, Gail Massey was a perfect example.
George Eliot.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have so many who just said, okay, how am I going to work out there? You know, it was a male-dominated society. That is changing. That is changing. There are
Most
more women in
definitely.
comics and more women artists than there have ever been. And so we see that change. We need powerful women who can punch guys in the face. That's what we need.
That's it. Mount up, ladies. Mount up. Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Joe. It's been a pleasure talking to you.